All right, hello everyone. Here we are back for another guide here. And you can see I have a Guardian 5 here. Probably the minimum you're going to want is a Guardian 6. Being able to crank that up to full backspin is probably going to make it just a little bit more holeable. But you really are going to need, some high backspin on this hole. As you can see, I even used a navigator ball. Sorry about that. Here you can see we did get a tailwind. As I mentioned, backspin is going to be a premium here. You'll see that cranking it up and probably landing up on the fringe here with a full backspin bounce, and just try to get it just behind the pin would be what would be ideal. I'm not really going to have that luxury, so I'm just going to use the notebook tool and try to get you guys at least somewhat starting dialed in here. So let's take a look. Let me just get this. You can see this wind here is very, very northern. So north is the wind. So let's take a look. Navigator 6.2. And what I'm going to try to do, maybe just a little bit of side spin, just to kind of, you can see how the pitch changes. So you really want to land on this fairway if you set up to do so. You can see that if I land up on the fringe, it's going to roll through the hole. You'll also see that I might, this way that I have to play it, I may have to take off some of the backspin because it's not going to run out. So you can see that I'm just maybe slightly pulling back. I forgot to test for mid-max. I'm just going to kind of use mid here as just kind of a rough guide because I'm running out on time. Another thing I could do, I'm right at the min line. So I am going to play this a little bit differently. So we're just going to go ahead and time out. I'm going to switch down to a Marlin ball. Another thing you could do is you could bring a 135 distance iron and do this with an iron, which I don't have set up. So I think we're going to just try this with a Marlin ball here. Based on what I have, you can see that we'll be able to land right on the front of the fairway. With Marlin, it's saying 8.5. I should be able to just use the min value. So 5.4 rings. So I'm essentially just sitting it right at max and maybe just short hitting it just slightly. Other than that, you're going to see maybe, I'm going to try to make sure that I can try to get this ball to run out a little bit. So I'm going to try to, do this. And as I mentioned, maybe just a slight short hit, as you can see I'm setting up for. But you can see I caught the great ball. But you can see, the overall gist of what I'm trying to do there. The only other alternative, you'll probably have to go up to like a Titan. And as I mentioned, you'd have to bring Goliath. And you'd have to do kind of the same type of thing to where you're trying to predict the ball guide and how it's going to, expand. And either one of those shots will be okay. If you're, want to kind of conserve balls, you can see with the Guardian and Marlin ball shot, you're going to be able to get away with a very, very small ball. If you can crank that backspin up to 100, you could essentially land it on the fringe as opposed to the fairway. It'll actually increase the quality of your shot if you're able to do that as well. So keep that in mind. Good luck with that hole, and I'll see you guys on hole 3.